Welcome to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds. And today we have my good friend Andrew Van.
How you doing, G?
I'm doing well. Introduce yourself.
My name is Andrew, but I go by my stage name is Andy. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Did I say Andrew?
You said Andrew, but no, but like I go by Andrew in my day-to-day life, but my stage name is Andy. It's kind of a funny backstory to that.
Tell it.
When I first started doing comedy, I was actually doing improv first, right? I was a sketch comic or a sketch actor and improv actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I met someone who put on stand-up shows, and she's like, I put on a showcase of Asian American comics. Do you do stand-up comedy? And I hadn't at the time, but I said yes. That's what you're supposed to do in improv. Yes, and right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, and then she's like, yeah, I got a show in a month. I'll put you on. So that's when I started going to open mics. And then she on the flyer she put Andy Van.
Yeah.
And I just did. I was too embarrassed to correct her because I didn't want her to. I don't know why. I was so stupid.
Yeah.
But
that happens though.
Yeah.
And
after a second time she put me on, it was way too awkward to change it then, right?
OMG, yeah.
Yeah. So Andrew,
not really. That's kind of close. Andrew, Andy. You could just be like, hey, I go by.
Yeah, and I'll change it if I feel like changing it one day. I'll change it.
Yeah.
I just feel like Andy Van also was like, all right, it's a fine.
I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I'm Andy Van.
Is Van your middle name or something, or?
No, so my birth name, I'm Vietnamese, but I'm a Nguyen, right, by legally. But my grandfather's original last name when he was in Vietnam was Van. Right?
Okay.
And then he had a falling out with his family. This is Asian and honor and all that shit, you know what I mean?
Got it.
I don't want to go into the details of it. I don't know how interesting. It's just really intense.
Is it interesting?
Really intense.
I feel like because you're a comedian, I can say that. I want to just say this from the top, too, so that you can get this out the way, or I can get this out the way with you. You're the first comedian that I've had on this, and you're the first one that I've asked because I wanted you, because I really enjoy you. I give Andy a lot of I'm going to say Andrew, because I'm
now you don't fucking know. I'm in your head.
Oh my God, I'm just going to call you Andrew. I really think you're so hilarious, and what I love about you, too, is because, like, sometimes I don't like to hang out with other comedians because, like, I feel like we're always putting on a show sometimes.
Yeah.
We're, like, trying to work bits. Not really. I want to say, because I'm not included in that. I'm just naturally funny. And I feel like you're that way, too. Like, where we can just have natural, funny conversations where it doesn't feel like, oh, are you trying a set on me right now?
I know. I hate when comics try their jokes on me. It's so fucking...
It's really annoying. And
it's so obvious. It's
so obvious. I don't know if it's obvious for other people that aren't comedians, but as a comedian, I'm just like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
just fucking talk to me like a human fucking being.
Exactly.
We just have a normal conversation.
Yeah, real talk. So that's how you got it. I think that's a cool way to get into stand-up too, because I feel like if you think about it too much, you really won't do it.
Exactly. And you know what actually is, when I was living in San Diego, I had done maybe 2 open mics like 4 or 5 years ago. And they went okay. I just didn't like feel it until I had to do it. And I just jumped in and it just clicked. You know what I mean?
Same. I was actually going to ask you about like how'd you get into comedy, but I feel like that's kind of that story, huh?
Yeah.
Is there more back to that, or?
There's other stuff too. Like I've always been like a performer. Like I emceed weddings for a while.
Okay. Oh, wow.
High school, I hosted like large events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But nothing like stand up like specifically. But I wanted to do theater for a little bit. So I lived in San Diego and I was doing local theater there. And then I had a choice to make. I was teaching high school too, so I could either teach or make the jump to LA. So I just
kids or go to LA.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm allowed to swear. I don't know if I'm allowed. It's just like a PG.
You've already been swearing, so why stop now? I swore on. It's funny you asked that because so on the intro episode, I say the F-bomb probably like 3 minutes in, and then editing it, I blurped it out. and I forgot to go in and edit out any other swears. And I was like, oh, that's pretty authentic to me anyways, because I swear. So I was like, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah. Just do the one. I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then you proceed to just a line of expletives. Just the rest.
I feel like rated like PG-13, you're allowed a few, right? Like times have kind of changed.
Yeah, you get like 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, well, we've definitely probably already maxed out.
You like how I like pretended to make my bed, but it's really just still hella disheveled. Just like
I would give it to you.
Yeah.
Because all I see is like for
my
me,
mom would not.
Especially as a straight male, as long as the sheets and the pillows are like
in the right places.
Presentable. Yeah, exactly. That's more than I would even expect for you.
Look at this.
How it was when we first started, before the podcast officially started, is what I expect of you. And this is like, I'm impressed now.
I have a stuffed animal.
Oh, cute. I have 2.
How's my butt crack looking?
I was going to comment, and then I was like, I'll leave it be. And so...
You're showing remarkable restraint just because you're being recorded, huh? I mean, this is for everybody.
Oh, my goodness. Calm it down. Andy, Andrew, I'm so glad to have you. This is hilarious already.
Yeah. Have we started? Is this what?
Yeah, this has started. We definitely are in. But I definitely will go back to the idea of, I feel like you definitely have to just jump into things, especially like, I wouldn't say for everyone that may not work, because I know some people are like dip your toe in the pool type people, but I've always thought that it's worked for me just jumping into things. But I never had thought about doing comedy until a friend of mine was doing stand-up for a little bit, and what happened was I just kind of wanted to get over my fears of like public speaking.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if like I wasn't important enough to like just get people together to do a speech or something.
Like PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. And so my next best thing was like, I think I'll try stand-up.
Yeah.
Not really try stand-up, but do an open mic. That was really my goal, was just to do an open mic. And one of my homies literally when I told him, he kept asking me. And I just kind of chickened out, because I'm like, one day, one day. And then finally he like literally set like a date on the calendar for me and was like, we're just going to do an open mic together. Yeah. Have whatever you need ready. He told people that we worked with and all this stuff. So like our friends knew and were asking me, you're going to do an open mic. And like he invited, and you know, like how open mics are too. So it's like, I didn't know what that was like back then. I turned it into a show for me at an open mic, and that's awesome. What were we going to say?
I said, I'm sure it was awesome. What happened?
It was awesome, but then it gave me false hope, because I thought that's what, because you know what open mics are really like.
You almost want your first time to be shit, because then you really fucking want it.
Yeah.
First time is good.
Yeah.
You're going to want to keep chasing it. Right?
Exactly. And that's what, it was a little, so that's what happened. It went well, and I was like, oh man, maybe this is a thing I can do.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that I even thought of as like a career or like job. It was just like, I did it like every 5 months, every 6 months. Like,
okay.
But that's also because it took me that long to get the courage to go back and do it.
Yeah.
But when I really started, a friend of mine, literally, we were on a podcast, and everybody was doing their plugs of what they were doing. And I was just like, I don't do anything. And he said to everybody, Gerard doesn't know this, but he's going to be on the show with me, such and such date at such and such place to come through. And I was like, what? Like, what? Like, I was actually really mad. I really was upset.
Yeah, he fucking put you on the spot. Yeah. That sounds like simultaneously a good and a terrible friend, right?
No, for sure. No, honestly, Aaron Hardy, if you're listening to this, shout out to you.
Shout out to Aaron. That was a good call, man. It's fucking hilarious.
And Jennifer
actually,
Brown,
you didn't even tell me about this podcast, too. You just called me, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, this is totally the result of quarantine and the lack of a Netflix password.
You don't have a Netflix account?
No, I do. I was lying a little bit.
My mom pays for mine. My mom
Really?
pays for mine.
My mom just stopped using mine. I gave her mine for the first time last summer, and she's like, she's too addicted, so she stopped.
Wow.
I know, that's really restrained.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's an amazing woman.
I've just been binging Gilmore Girls. I'm
Oh my God! Wow, I'm impressed. I love that. I love Gilmore Girls.
It's really good. It's just
it's really good. It's really good.
It's a little bit intense sometimes. It's like, okay, I gotta like.
It's real, dude. Not my best friend, but one of my good friends, Rio. He's been watching a lot of Boy Meets World.
Oh,
and before this, every time I went over there, it was always on in the background, and we would get caught up in it. And Boy Meets World used to get so deep. I didn't know that
shit, dude.
That old TV kind of like was hitting.
Dude.
It was hitting places.
Tori and Topanga, and then fucking Eric, his brother too was so good. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a great time for us sometimes.
So what do you think has kept you in comedy? Because you could have definitely laughed many times, I'm sure.
Anyone can leave. That's the thing about comedy. Anyone can leave at any time for any reason.
Yeah,
right? It's a very like soft kind of thing. I just want to see it through. Like I like the discipline that I've created around it.
Yeah.
Obviously during this quarantine, it's a little bit different, right? Like
I've seen that you've been doing some live shows. I did a live show the first week.
It's so
How was
that? Starting over.
Huh?
It's like starting over.
It's starting over?
It feels like starting over. Like
oh, totally.
Like learning a different thing.
Because it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Like it kind of sucks almost. I feel like I like it and I don't like it. Like I like it because I mean it's like I'm in my own house and I feel like I have more control. Like I can think of like I feel for me it's turning more into like sketches, like live sketches almost in a way. Yeah. Because like we don't have the interaction. Like I can say a line and I don't know if people are laughing or not. It's like
that live feedback is so important in comedy.
So important. Yeah. You guys listening, like go to comedy shows and like laugh.
We need you so much more than you need us.
Yeah, like, for real. For real.
It's depressing.
I wonder how, I was just thinking because I had another, actually I lied, you're not the first comedian. You're the first straight comedian.
Oh, okay. Probably the first Asian comedian?
Yeah, that too.
First Asian person?
Too. I don't even know if I know it. Oh, that's a lie. I definitely know another Asian
person. Another Asian person?
No, I know plenty of you guys. I'm just saying that. Am I allowed to? Whatever.
I'm cool. I have so many Asian friends.
Exactly. That racist.
Fuck out of here, G. Get the fuck out of here. Use me for your.
Shut up! Stop. I was just thinking, how do they do, like, how people do albums? But I just had another comedian, and it's a live production too. Because I was just like, well, if you're just sitting in a recording studio saying jokes, that might be a little awkward.
Yeah. It has to be more performative.
For sure.
Like as opposed to like a natural, because like the best comedy feels hella natural, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So when you're doing like if you're doing like a video thing, it has to be more of a performance to elicit that laughter, I think.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of what we're even referring when we hang out with other comics that are trying bits. It just feels so unnatural that it's like, well, that's.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So you talked about you liked forming like the discipline, and what kind of discipline and stuff have you formed from comedy?
It's mostly just, it's like I would go to open mics almost every day, right?
Yeah.
Days multiple times, right?
Right.
And so I would always record myself, like listen to myself and see, well, okay, I was trying to get a laugh here. How come I didn't get a laugh there? What can I do? Why did I get a laugh here? What's funny about this?
Isn't that crazy that sometimes the things that you say that you're just not expecting that people laugh at, and you're like, oh, that was what you guys laughed?
It makes you cocky too. Like, oh, I'm so funny. I don't even know how funny I am.
Real talk. Yeah.
I'm so funny. Like, I can't even control it.
Yeah, I've always felt that way though, probably.
Yeah. I can relate.
I was actually so upset in high school that I didn't win class clown.
Really?
Yeah, I was I was so upset. I got most outspoken, which I'm sure that that's not far off for me.
That's I mean, I'm upset that you're even upset between those two.
But at the time I was definitely like, I didn't want to be known as outspoken. I wanted to be known as
outspoken's a good thing. You can't.
Well, to me it's just so like,
Oh yeah.
I don't hold back as much as I should probably.
This podcast is better. You think you hold back more in the podcast than you do in real life?
I think I'm trying to be very because what I think about is things are going to be out there forever. You know what I mean? And this is my first like introduction of myself to the world.
My lower back skin is going to be now out there forever. Exactly. Unless you cut it out. I hope
exactly. So I feel like I've definitely been very not held back, but like you talked about the cursing, like I haven't been watching myself, but I'm definitely aware of it. You know what I mean? But I definitely don't want, because I don't want my idea of this podcast is I want people to be inspired and motivated, but also know that we're real people and things happen, and you know what I mean? So I want that vibe. I want us to be real, and I want to keep it inspiring and motivating.
No, I think it's a great thing. I'm having a lot of fun so far, and I'm sure I'm gonna listen back, and your clips that you posted seems pretty cool.
Yeah,
right? At least just you talking, right?
I know the first one with that's so weird. I will tell you guys, but it's funny because like it was weird, but it was so natural for me. I was like, damn, I can just talk.
You have my vote for most outspoken for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I was in middle school, I was very not. It was mostly white people, right? And
I'm very surprised by that, Andrew.
What?
That you weren't popular in middle school.
I was popular probably more in high school, but middle school, it was.
I'm also surprised you didn't pick up on the sarcasm there.
Oh. No. You know how narcissistic I am? Like, there's no chance in hell. There's no chance in hell I'm not going to take that at face value. You should be surprised I'm not popular. Everyone should be.
But I really do love you. You're the most hilarious person ever.
I appreciate that. You're very funny as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, in middle school, what were we going to say?
Oh, yeah. So they were doing it like most likely to whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it was very clearly that the one I got was as a result of them not wanting to vote me for anything good. It was like a last resort. It was like most likely to come back to teach.
Oh, right? Wow. This was in middle school?
In middle school, right? What do you know about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way a kid can make that judgment.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, what?
Yeah. So but then what's annoying is I became a teacher.
You did. But when you know, you know.
Yeah. It was really annoying.
That's hilarious. That's really funny. Have you ever, I'm sure, I don't want to say I'm sure, but I think every comic can say they've bombed in some sort of fashion. Oh, yeah. What's that like how do you handle that moment? How have you handled that moment? Because it probably has changed too.
Yeah, when I first started, I handled it very poorly.
Yeah.
Even at an open mic, if I bombed, I would come up to other comics and be like, hey, that was bad, right? I mean, what? And the other comics who've been there for a minute, right? They're like, we don't care.
Yeah. That's kind of brave, though, I would think. Because at an open mic, if I bombed at the beginning, I would run away. I literally ran away. I would get off stage and leave.
I didn't, because, I don't know, because I just felt like I needed validation somehow, I guess.
Yeah.
And they were, the comics, like, we'd see each other.
Yeah.
Often enough where like I was in speaking terms with them and I'd be like, hey man, what was I doing? Like what happened there? I have no idea. Like it was kind of embarrassing. Like, dude, we don't care if you bomb at all. We don't care about mics. And you're open mic bomb, just fucking leave us alone.
Just don't care. Comics just don't care about other comics at open mics, I feel.
Yeah, we're focused on ourselves. And that's what I think has made me more narcissistic a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I need a little bit of it. I mean, you need a little bit of it to I
I would have loved to. And a couple years ago, I was running my own show as well. At Sal's Comedy Hole in Melrose.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
Yeah. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. Well, one time, I'm not gonna say this. Well, I'm gonna say the story. This one time, I was running a show, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody was on stage doing a set, and a rat on the very top. And like the crowd, everybody was just like, oh. And because the comic didn't know what was happening. It was just like, oh, you guys didn't like that. And we were just like all looking at this, and it was a rat. It's not a mouse. It was a rat.
Oh. That's hilarious. Yeah, you guys pulled back.
That's something I should have held back. I was about to hold it back, and I was like, no, this was hilarious.
That's
what
so
made
funny,
it so much more more hilarious was the comic thinking that their joke was bombing or whatever. Speaking
like
of bombing,
he just said something really controversial.
Exactly. All just like, and people were eating.
Oh my god! Because they give out pizzas.
They have food.
Yeah. It's like a restaurant.
But it was their like back place, not like. But so I don't want to like.
I've done one show there. I like the people who run the shows.
Oh my god!
I do like the people who run the shows.
OMG, this is
nothing against them. Nothing against them, obviously.
No, I actually love that venue. I really
it's a great venue,
love that venue. It wasn't my last show there. I kept
you better think about the last time you did a show. That might be the last time, G. This is not. I'll still eat there. I don't care. Whatever. I'll still.
Bro, I'm sure that we know about worse. I've eaten in New York. I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, bombing. How did you handle it then?
Yeah. So I used to be really like in my head about it, and now I've learned a couple of things. Right. I learned I can't drink a lot before I go on stage.
Yeah. Completely.
I can drink maybe one, maybe two.
Maybe three.
I can drink 3, maybe 4. I can drink maybe 9 drinks before.
You've tested everywhere in between, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I can
definitely
1 or 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not drink.
It's a like I've definitely mixed it up. I don't really care for drinking, but sometimes I've smoked before a show. Sometimes I won't smoke. Sometimes I've just been clean sober. I try to be as sober as possible for shows now because I want to be so people don't think about this, but I think about my words on stage a lot. I try to stay away from the ums and because we want to not use as many words if we could get across the same point with less words. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One thing I do instead of an I say fuck or fucking a lot.
Yeah.
In between, like just like fucking, in between I've probably done it in this interview and you probably hear it, but I've tried to stop doing that and I didn't realize that until recently. You know,
for me, the same. Actually, doing this podcast, I've heard every little mistake that I say speaking wise, and it's very.
That's the shitty thing about like
cool.
Hearing yourself, right?
I know.
Just hate everything.
I know. But that's part of turning coal into diamonds. We all
get better.
Yeah, exactly. It's all practice.
and we were worse.
Sorry.
Before. We were worse before.
For sure.
Everything.
My first episode, I found out that I smacked my mouth a lot. Like I talk like this. So I was like, OMG, I gotta stop that.
Why do you? It sounds like you just saw either a really hot person. Or like,
yeah. That's because I'm looking at myself while I do the podcast.
Oh, you're not a diamond yet.
Oh, damn. See, this is why you should hang out with comics.
We're currently turning it, right? We're not.
Yeah,
you're in the process.
We're always. Well, I guess we're always in the process, but
But that's the discipline I get from stand-up comedy. Just like constantly, we're constantly judging ourselves. You know, we're our hardest judges, honestly.
Completely.
And knowing that and finding the balance between like judging myself, and recognizing when I've made progress, and realizing that the work I put in every single day does pay off.
Oh, for sure.
that's something that is like I didn't really have that as much before. I had it, but like not as much.
Completely. And I definitely think that could be applied to anywhere in life.
Yeah.
Because like the minutes add up to the hours add up to the days to the month, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
How have you been kind of staying motivated during quarantine?
It's a lot harder.
For sure.
I think I've done a couple of virtual open mics. Honestly, I've done them. She's not gonna watch this, but I've done it. I've done a couple open mics because there's this girl I thought was really cute, and I was like, oh, I better. Yeah. That's how I started doing the virtual open mics. And I was like, this is it's still a good way. I realized, you know what? It is a good way.
You're not going to add this on your Insta story for her to maybe see?
No, don't do that. She may or may not even know. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not going to risk it. It's too embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's too embarrassing.
That's so funny.
But then I started doing when I started doing the virtual open mic, I started meeting some people virtually, and they started putting on shows, and then I knew some other people who were putting on shows, and just like and it's like I said, it's very weird, but it's still something. For
sure. I love that it's still doing. I mean, I've only done the one, and that's kind of why I created the podcast for me, actually, because I was like, I don't really like the lives as much, but how can I still do something?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been my thing.
Yeah.
Just because I thrive off of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're extroverts. You and I are both very extroverted.
Can you say that one more time?
You and I are both very extroverted.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Speaking of, well, not really speaking of which, but you mentioned you thought this girl was cute. Have you ever hooked up with another comic?
No, I have not.
No,
I have not.
Tried?
I haven't tried really hard.
Yeah. So that means you tried, but you didn't succeed.
Yeah. So what happened was I put out feelers, and then like, what am I doing? At an open mic or something, I'll be talking to like a comic who I think is hot.
Yeah.
I'll be talking for like a minute, and then like I was thinking specifically once or twice at Bert's, right? And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, the next mic is about to start. Are you gonna get Joe's number right now? What's your next move here, dude?
Yeah.
She probably doesn't even think you're fucking funny at all, Like,
oh no, don't say that.
I mean, I don't care what she thinks. Who cares? No, but like, you start talking to because I do it with comics who I want to be my friend, right? Like, dude, this guy's really funny. I want him to be my friend. I'll talk to him for a little bit. I'm like, what's the next game here? You want to be your friend?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not worth the effort to start relationships with comics. I don't think.
I hear you. Why didn't they start relationships?
Not start, but like
that was what I asked you.
This one notwithstanding, like, we're cool, right? Like, it's just like open mics are for open micing and networking to some extent.
Yeah, for sure.
And you shouldn't force a relationship. Is what I'm trying to say. I've
met
a lot of really good friends through open mics, and that's fine. And networking, I definitely do that as well, right? To talk to them and stuff like that. But I'm not going to force a relationship that's not there.
For sure.
So that's what I'm trying to get at.
Got you.
That's how I feel the same way with female comics too. Like, I'm not trying to force. I'm not.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That would be interesting dynamic. I don't know. I've never hooked up with I feel like there's not many. I haven't been around a lot of gay male comics. I've definitely been around a lot of lesbian comics, but not gay male comics.
I've been around probably more gay male comics than lesbian comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, send them my way. Tell them I want to interview them on my podcast.
Yeah. This podcast is everything for you right now. This is how you meet people. This is how you get human interaction. This is going to be your future husband. Maybe. Everything.
There we go. And I don't even have to leave my room.
Yeah, I know. This coronavirus is the best thing that's ever fucking happened to you.
Not really. I can't. I'm all these grinder people. I can't even meet up with them.
Yeah, you probably
should. Like all helpless. This doesn't work for me. I couldn't have a relationship sustained on this.
I don't know if I could either.
Right?
I haven't. Yeah.
Have you ever had a long distance relationship?
Well, there was a girl I was dating for a while, and then we were long distance for like 6 months, and we broke up.
Because of the long distance.
It wasn't. I don't think it was a distance. There was like other stuff happening too. So
damn.
Yeah. But it's not. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And in high school, when I went to college, I was dating a girl from back home for a while too.
Did you say where you're from?
I'm from the Bay Area.
The Bay Area. You did say that actually.
Yeah, I'm from the Bay. I don't think I said that. Did I?
I think so at the beginning.
Okay.
Maybe not. Who knows? I'm not really.
I'm from the Bay, and I lived there I grew up there, and then I lived in San Diego for 2 years, 2.5 to 3 years for grad school. Then I moved to LA.
Oh, okay. What'd you get your degree in?
I have a bachelor's in biology and pre-dentistry.
Oh, wow.
With a minor in chemistry.
You are a smart Asian. Not just the funny Asian, the smart Asian.
And I have a master's in education, single subject biology.
That's so cool. I hated science, and the only science I really enjoyed was biology.
You would have hated me as a teacher. There's no chance I would have helped you.
Really?
No, I don't know.
What kind of teacher would say that?
Well, here's
and I'm Black too, so that's the worst thing you could say. We need all educated Black people out there.
I'm half joking. I think I was a really fun teacher, but yeah, I think when you're your first or second year teaching, you're still learning the ropes.
Yeah,
the kids aren't learning as much, and I felt really guilty all the time.
Oh, really? What age? What year were you guys?
I was freshman. I taught freshman biology.
Okay, I think biology for me was 10th grade.
Yeah.
I only remember that.
Sophomore year for sure.
Yeah. I remember that because Miley Cyrus, she was kind of breaking from the Hannah Montana phase, and she was doing that was her year she did I Can't Be Tamed.
Okay.
Which is one of those moments too. I also really should have known I was gay because I loved that song. I was about it. I can't be tamed.
I mean, you're definitely you measure your life events by Hannah Montana. Important Hannah Montana moments. It's just you're aligned with your life.
Miley Cyrus is my bitch. I've been trying to her birthday's a day after mine. If she ever hears this, November 23rd is her birthday. Mine is November 22nd. My lifelong dream is for us to celebrate our birthdays together. So if anybody is listening or knows her, wants to put it out there, let's do it. And that's not far fetched.
Distance. You speak
exactly. I have been for years and years. It's coming closer and closer.
I'll take care of it. I got you. I'll take care of it.
Thank you. I'm not gonna say how old I'm turning, but this would be a year that I would love it. It would be pivotal and memorable, and it'd be a good one.
30. You're about to turn 30.
No, I'm not. Don't ever say that out loud.
I have no idea.
I actually was just getting a haircut the other day, and my barber was giving me the mirror to check out.
How?
We'll talk about that later. Okay. And he gave me the mirror. He came to me, and he shows his negative coronavirus test every time.
Okay.
It's I don't know. That's not true.
Yeah.
But
of course. So he's showing the mirror to you.
He showed me the mirror, and he was like, "How do you like the cut?" And the first thing I said was, "Are those gray hairs?" I could not believe I'm starting to gray, kind of.
Really?
Not badly, but enough that it's concerning, because I even found one not too long ago in my beard.
Really?
And bro.
Imagine when they start showing up in your pubes, bro. That's gonna
I couldn't. I'm not ready for that. I would then die. I'd retire.
You'd retire.
I'd file for Social Security.
Yeah, I'm out of the game, man. I can't.
That's crazy. I mean, the gays do like a good silver daddy, so it's not like it's a horrible thing. But
yeah,
ugh.
I don't gray, but you can tell I'm balding, right? My hair is thinning.
Well, you're wearing a hat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna show the world now. But
you'd rather show them your crack than your balding head.
Oh my God, yeah. Everyone has a crack. Wow. Everyone's balding.
Wow. Everybody has a crack. Not everybody's balding is Yuri's thing. I love that. Have you had any hecklers? How do you deal with hecklers?
Usually I just like shut them down, or like I acknowledge that they're talking and I make it funny.
Yeah.
And that usually wins the crowd over. One time I made a single mom cry.
OMG. Is this the story about the open mic?
Yeah.
I actually interviewed this open mic person.
Oh, really?
Can
I say his name? I can say his name. Right?
I think you could say his name. I didn't know.
Deshaun. Deshaun is the dope. One of the coolest guys. First of all.
Deshaun's great. We had such a great interview.
I'm honored even to know him. He's so cool.
He's so sweet. It wasn't Deshaun. It's like has nothing to do with Deshaun, really.
No, yeah. I don't know if it's gonna give him a bad. It's not gonna give him a bad. He's like he handled it perfectly.
He did.
He was hosting this open mic. He invited me over, and then it was all musicians, right?
It's what do they call it? It's an open mic, a variety show, but it's definitely for musicians.
Yeah.
Because he's invited me too, and I was like,
yeah. Deshaun has to ask people to come, which is fine. I think he runs a great open. It's a great. Musicians are great.
Musicians are amazing.
Amazing, right? I'm like, Jesus Christ! I am not as funny as these people are good at music. Like there's no.
That is also how I felt the last time I met. They are phenomenal musicians.
Yeah. They're better at their craft. I'm nowhere near. Just like, gee. And so I wasn't the first comic to go up, right? So this lady comes in. I hope she doesn't see this either. Anyway, so this lady comes in, she comes in with her daughter, and it's sweet. Her daughter's like the nicest, and she seems nice. And I was like, this is cool. And I was like, I thought it was a good thing, I was like, it's kind of like, she's doing her thing, and her daughter's coming along. And and she goes up on stage. She's the first comic, and then Deshaun says, "I'll go on after her." Right? I was like, "How much time should I do? Like maybe 5 or 6? It's an open mic." He goes,
"Yeah,
well, go on as long as you want, man. Like honestly." I'm like, "Dude, okay, I'm gonna let myself at like 6. Okay, like
yeah. That's a good open mic slot.
Yeah. And but she goes up first, and she's fine. Like she's the first comic, and people are still warming up to her, but it's fine. You can tell she's done it before at least, right? But she says a couple of things that were kind of off, right? Like she talks about how she's a single mom, which is fine, and then she like starts like name dropping, like about what people she worked with. She goes, "Yeah, I can work with Kevin Hart and like Tiffany Haddish, but now I'm a single mom and it sucks." I'm like, okay, it's not funny, but it's whatever. And then she starts making Asian jokes.
Oh, snappers.
Yeah, and then if they're funny, they're fine. I'm not.
Yeah.
If they're like unoriginal and they're just like attacking Asians, then it's like kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
But there's an Asian guy next to me, and then she goes up to.
Did you guys look at each other?
I didn't even know he was. I didn't even know he was there. I didn't know he was. Because there were Asian people peppered in the audience.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I don't think about it. It's kind of weird,
I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. She goes, "Oh yeah, you're Asian," and she goes, "What are you, Korean?" And he was like, "No." And I look at the dude. I'm like, "This dude hella looks Filipino, right?" Like, he looks so obviously Filipino. Yeah. Right? Why did a Korean guy? You know what the best part about dating a Korean guy is? Easy blowjobs.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was like,
it's not original, yeah.
I was like, I can take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you think it's funny, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not mad at it. At an open mic, I'm not gonna get mad at a joke, right?
No, of course.
Yeah. And so she finishes her set. I go up, and then the first thing I said, I had to address the Asian thing, right? Because she talked about Asian people. She made 2 or 3 jokes. I forgot.
Yeah.
But that was the one that stuck out. And I was like, guys, I just want to thank this lady. She's really fun. Let's give her a round of applause. And guys, she brought her daughter here. She brought her daughter. And I said, here's what I said. I said, she's doing stand-up comedy, guys. She's doing stand-up comedy. She brought her daughter to an open mic. What day? It's Tuesday. She brought her on a school night, guys. This girl should be in bed right now.
Yeah, that's cute.
It's just like lighthearted, and I was your jokes are fine. And then I said to the audience, like, this dude is obviously Filipino. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and I looked at him, I was like, "You're Filipino, right?" He goes, Yeah. Then she gets up and she's like, "Oh yeah, well if I were a single dad, you wouldn't be saying anything."
Oh.
I was like, okay. And then she just keeps going. She goes,
now she's
people
a
don't care about single moms.
Wow.
No one cares in LA about single moms. You know, I used to work with Tiffany Haddish, and now I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, lady, you're breaking down and still name dropping? Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. OMG.
And then she leaves, and you know, it was this whole thing, and Deshaun had to like go up to her and talk to her.
Yeah.
And we started the show, and I told I didn't do any of my new jokes. I just told some like old jokes that I knew would just work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just get
like,
the
I just
back.
want them, now I want them, everyone feels uncomfortable. I want them to
Yeah, for sure.
That happened, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's really wild.
Yeah.
That's really wild.
It's a long story. I don't know how funny
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that hasn't happened to me. But that happens though, because you have to deal with people that just like talk too loud. People are drinking. That's the other thing. You never really know.
I felt bad. I felt so bad.
But that's another situation. Yeah, that's.
But I mean, she was ribbing on. I don't know.
Yeah, as a comic, first of all, if you're gonna make fun of anybody in the crowd, and then they say something, and you weren't even really making fun of her, like it was fun. Like, yeah, it's like your kid probably actually should be in bed. Really.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was talking to her daughter before too. Like we were like, and she saw me, and we're like, she was like adorable. I was helping her with her iPad. She's trying to watch on her headphones. I helped her out with the iPad.
Oh, you're so sweet, Andrew.
And then I was like, but it wasn't even like mean. It was like your kid should be in. I guess she.
I know.
Yeah, but
I feel you on that. That was funny and lighthearted. And you went, yeah.
You know, she also said during her set, she's like, and I look pretty good for my age. And as she walked away, I felt so guilty after everything went down. As she was walking away, well, you do look pretty good for your age.
That's so funny.
It was like half guilt, half trying to make people laugh. You know what I
mean? That's still pretty funny, though. I like that.
People came up to me afterwards and said that was crazy, but you handled it.
The way you handled that was like perfectly, because you still obviously I think you can realize like that was some of her own like stuff. Like that's just got she's probably got more stuff about being a single mom.
I hope she's okay. Her daughter seems really well behaved and sweet. I just
that's really wild.
She did look good for her age. She actually, you know, the more I think about
it. You want to hit her out? Apologize?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say.
Maybe offer babysitting.
Babysitter.
Yeah. Can't even with you. I actually haven't had very many heckler situations. Yeah. Mine have only been like loud talkers or.
Oh yeah.
Like.
How do you deal with it?
Well, drunk people being loud talkers, I guess, are like the same thing to me. I mean, I call people out. Like I remember. Like, I learned how to do it in a way that's not so calling out and make it more funny. Because when I first did it, it was kind of more so like, oh, you're going to talk and I'm like...
you have the sass and the attitude enough, the sarcasm, right? You have like a razor sharp sarcasm that on stage works really well. I think.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you live. I've seen some of your videos. Yeah. And they're funny. And that attitude definitely like, I don't see it a lot, but there's a sarcasm that really definitely comes through that I think works.
For sure.
I definitely with Hecklers will absolutely be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think what I can get away with is I feel like I have like people don't expect it from me because I think I don't know, I come across as I might be like soft or whatever, but then I like I'm not, I guess. I don't know. Because when I first
people think you're nice and cool. I don't
soft is not true. Okay, that's probably better. That's what I was going for. Because I remember my first couple shows when I first started, I definitely had a very somber and calm. Like people were shocked at some of the things that were said because I looked like maybe like I was nerdy or like the Catholic schoolboy type thing. You know what I mean? Like that type of vibe, I should say.
Yeah.
More so.
But you can use an image like to your advantage. You know.
Oh, for sure. But that was also because I was not really confident still in comedy, so I was kind of, it worked for me, but it was out of more insecurity then. Mm-hmm. Now I am kind of like sassy and myself on stage.
And if it works, man.
Yeah.
And then that may change too. Like in the future, the more you do it, that this persona may change into whatever works for you in the however you are in the future.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have like a stage persona, or are you kind of like, how does that work for you?
I'm still figuring it out for sure. I
Yeah.
think I definitely, what I love doing is like, I really like getting angry on stage.
Oh, interesting.
It's fun, and it's like, and it comes from a truth too. Like,
Yeah.
like I can be very snobby and judgmental, and
Yeah.
like one of my flaws, I think.
Yeah.
But then but it's funny to heighten that on stage. You know what I mean? Like when I'm on stage, I'm like, why the fuck are you are like just like getting mad at certain things?
Yeah.
But I like that about myself.
Yeah.
On stage, I don't like it in real life. I think it's like, to relationships.
Why the F are you like this?
How come you didn't? This Brita filter needs to be refilled every time you fucking pour it out.
I know.
Like small shit. I'm not gonna get. Yeah,
that's a real thing though. Sometimes
it is a real thing, but you shouldn't get mad at. You shouldn't get mad at it. You should just gently remind and be like, hey, not like. And is it hard to refill the Brita filter?
Reminder.
Huh?
What if it's the 80th gentle reminder?
Sit down discussion. Restorative justice.
There you
go. Get all the parties involved and write journal entries. Write about what. I can problem solve relationships. I can be a teacher. There
you go. Good. Do you have roommates? Do you have roommate discussions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I live with 3 flatmates. I have my own room, but there's a couple living in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
And then we sectioned off our living room because, my life is going really well, right?
The
comedy game.
This is not uncommon. Yeah, I wouldn't, but this is not uncommon for LA.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
I'd never done it before, right? I've always had otherwise normal living, but the guy living in the living room is dope. He's like, cool. I didn't know him before we moved in.
Yeah.
I knew the guy living in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm closer to the guy living in the living room.
I mean, you probably see him a lot more.
We just hang. We're actually going to Costco after this.
Oh, sweet. What are you guys getting?
Some eggs.
You're going all the way to Costco just for eggs?
Other stuff too, but the 60 size is hopefully if they have any left.
Dang, that would be so nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been lazy the last 2 days. I haven't made breakfast.
Yeah, eggs are, and I'm probably gonna get some vegetables, and we're gonna get some steaks, and then. Yeah.
You've been on the steak game. I've seen your stories, bro. You're definitely living large out there.
It's so dope. It's really dope. It's. I've been practicing because we don't have a grill, right? Or the grill. We have a grill at the complex. Mm-hmm. That's downstairs, so I've just been pan frying and then putting in the oven just to practice. Not every steak has been great. I've shown them. I think I've shown some of the ones that aren't as good.
Mm-hmm.
Just
practice. It's hard to really F up a steak unless you really just overcook it.
Yeah. That's
it's still salvageable. Yeah. Until then.
But I always get them on the cheap too, like the top sirloins or the ribeyes when they're on sale and stuff like that.
Oh wow, I'm the worst steak eater because I'm kind of I'm a little ratchet. I love ketchup. So I don't care where I'm going, where I'm at, what kind of steak. I'll eat a couple bites without ketchup for sure, but I don't even need no A1.
I'm split 2 ways on that. Like on one hand, it's the best tasting steak is without ketchup and just a rare medium.
People say that, but imagine with ketchup.
But on the other hand, it's your food, dude. Do what you want. You know what I mean? Who am I to tell you how to eat your food?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it was mustard or some honey mustard or something, ranch, I feel like that would be worse. Give me some shit. Go ahead.
I like horseradish.
Ketchup? Come on now. I don't know. I'm ratchet.
Ketchup. I mean, everyone.
People are mad at me. People get mad.
You know what's crazy about living in 2020 is that people are more mad about you eating ketchup with steak than they are now about you being gay.
Yeah.
The world has changed so much.
Yeah, for sure. That is actually probably very true. I'm going to steal that maybe.
No, it's recorded. I'm taking it.
This is recorded?
You could probably, it's yours.
Fight for it.
That's you.
When are you going to use that?
I can just bring it up. I can pick up another. I'll pick another habit that people don't like about me.
Oh, see, you could totally do that. Well, then let me have the gay and the ketchup. You can have the other scenario.
But the premise, I mean, you can have it for sure, but here's what I'm saying, the way the joke is unfolding,
yeah,
be the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, obviously,
people would do a side by side like they did with Amy Schumer and a bunch of other people.
But we'll always have this to be like, well, we discussed it. We both want to use it.
Yeah, that's true. We did. This is very
But it's totally geared towards you. Like it's you. Like I don't.
It was totally my thinking. You know, if we rewind it back, it was me that said it.
Oh, we're gonna argue. We're gonna argue over. Is this what's happening right now? All right, fuck it, let's do this. All right.
This is. Let's do it. OMG. Do you have anything you want to let the people know? Any questions for me, maybe? I've never asked somebody to ask me something.
You've never asked anyone to ask you something?
Yeah, I was just kind of saying, do you want to plug anything? And then
when you like started doing comedy, you said you only did it once every couple of months.
Yeah.
And then up until when did you start like doing it more often, do you think?
Probably 2005. I started in 2014, and then in the beginning of 2016 is when I said I wanted to.
What do you want, Brian?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of fucking something, bro.
Is that the living room guy?
Yeah, we're going to Costco. He wants to go to Costco.
We're just wrapping it up.
We're just wrapping it up, asshole.
That's funny.
2015.
Yeah, I would say the end of 2015 into 2016 is when then I started doing shows like I was doing. I've never done more than 3 shows a week, but I was doing like 7, 8 a month. Like I was but the best time for me wasn't even shows. It was kind of like you said earlier, where in 2017 I was like I needed to go to open mics like every chance I got. It was like the best time for me is when I'm going to open mics like almost every day, a couple times a day.
Yeah, it just feels good.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
the practice, it's the muscle, and to me, what I enjoyed the most about it is actually doing the refinement of like, because when I go to open mics, I actually now a lot of times just go up with topics and kind of riff and record, and then I go from there. And like sometimes I will come up with like, oh, I already had a joke written out because I don't want to try it after I've listened to the riff. But going every day or multiple times a day, that gave me the opportunity to to do that more often. Because if I'm going once a week, then I'm maybe only listening to it once or twice a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, I was actually getting back in a groove towards the end of last year, going into this year, and then all of this is happening. But I'm actually really grateful because, like you said, the quarantine has been I've been definitely using it to my advantage.
It's not obviously it's not the best thing that's happened to you, but it's a situation presented itself, and you found a silver lining, right?
Yeah, for sure. And this is the reason I created the podcast, because I want us to all have that in all areas of our life. Yeah. You know, because I do feel like there are moments that we maybe don't see or realize because we're in it. You know what I mean? Can't think your way out of your own thinking. Yeah. And yeah, I really feel like this is a cool time to get the creative juices flowing.
Yeah, it's great. I'm having a good time. I'm having a blast. I'm doing a virtual like comedy festival.
Yeah.
May 8th through the 10th.
Okay.
Yeah. And
May what to the 10th?
May 8th through May 10th. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think I'm gonna be hosting some shows. I'm doing a set, whatever that entails.
Yeah. But keep plugging. I was gonna ask if you wanted to plug anything. It sounds like you're kind of doing that now.
Yeah, that's
they can find you.
Yeah, that's it. And just follow me on Instagram. You know what's really annoying that I've started doing? Someone asked me to start posting memes I thought were funny.
Yeah.
So I've just been posting memes on my story.
Andrew, I love some of your memes, but some of them you got to keep up the game, bro.
Yeah, then because I don't really. It's like I hate doing it because it's not my content. You know what I mean?
So fun. That's how I felt at first, but it's just like it's going around and people use it for different things. And I actually do change it up. If you can, I do change it up.
Yeah. I'll see what I mean. The people like I have like the most engagement. People are like, "Oh, this is so funny."
I know it is really funny, dude. You have some really funny stuff, but some of them not so.
Okay, well, you're a meme snob, is what you are. That's what I figured out from this interaction right here.
But I tell you though, I literally replied and I was like, I'm not this one. Oh, this one.
I know. Yeah. See, I'm talking to you more. I talk to people like I haven't talked to in years. Like, oh, this is really funny. People are like actually like talking to me more.
Are you just saying, because you didn't say this, but you're doing it in your stories, the meme posts.
Yeah.
Were you not posting in your stories as often, or?
I just post my daily life in my stories, and now I feel like what this has done, I'm not going to keep doing this forever, but what it has done is like, if I can spend an hour or two in like an hour just finding memes and posting it, I could do like creating a habit will hopefully yield more habits of my own personal creativity.
Not even hopefully it will.
Yeah. So that's something. Stay posted, I guess. Follow me on Instagram. Stay posted. I got good things coming.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Andy Van, check him out. He's amazing. I hope you guys could tell. Like, we had a great time, I feel like.
Yeah.
Love to have you back if you're open to it, dude.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, as always, guys, keep turning coal into diamonds.
Dope.